Hello everybody, it is me Darcy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Unnamed Podcast, the time of the week where I sit here with this and we talk rubbish or whatever else comes to my mind. Generally my mind, because I am the man. Look at my fingers.
So why are we looking at things? Is there anything special about them?
No, they're great.
Fuck, okay then.
Much like me, they're great. But guys, welcome back. Let's get things started the way we often do with a little bit of channel news. Kris, take it away.
Yes, indeed. So, Monday this week was some more Indiana Jones.
It was. I was so excited to get back to that.
Finally in a new area.
Yeah, to be fair, I could have played an entire game. The way they built the game is that it's actually fun to explore shit. So,
Well, yeah, that's
I could have stayed in the Vatican and just kept going and trying to find everything.
Well, let's put it this way. If they didn't build the game like that,
Wouldn't be
it
a very
wouldn't be
good
a
game.
good game.
But like, even though it was a pretty small area, it was like there was a lot kind of going on that you were like, oh, I missed this, or I haven't been here yet, and so, I was really good. But yes, we have moved on to a new area. We have moved to Egypt, where we are near the pyramids. I do have like a little bit of an issue, because
And said issue is
Cairo is like right next to the pyramids, like, you know, the city of Cairo.
it's a bit too much of a.
Well, no.
It's a bit too much of a stretch there.
My issue is that they're like they've made the mistake that a lot of people make when they like talk about the pyramids, which is like, oh, you're at the pyramids and there's a small little village next to them. It's like, it's Cairo. The thing that's next to the pyramids is Cairo, the biggest city in Egypt.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know a lot about Egypt back in the
The heyday. No,
the middle, the interwar period.
fair. Yeah.
But I do know that Cairo did exist during World War One.
Yeah.
And so one would assume that it didn't disappear in the interwar period and then pop back up during World War Two.
That would have been real odd.
That would have been odd. So I'm kind of sitting there being like, okay, I get that you didn't want to do the whole big, here's Cairo.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, no. So if you ever actually go and look at maps, you can see that Cairo is pretty much here and the pyramids are here. You can see the pyramids from Cairo very easily.
So are they just saying that it's not Cairo?
They're just kind of like ignoring the fact that the like biggest city in Egypt isn't
A small village.
well should be right there, and that there shouldn't be a Nazi base at the pyramids. There's a few things that I'm not really that it, like.
As I said, it's a bit too much of a stretch.
It's a bit of a stretch. So again, you know, just for shits and giggles, who was in control, for lack of a better term, of Egypt during the wars?
See, I know less about the wars than you, so I actually don't know that.
Little empire, maybe you heard of them. They were called the British.
Ah, okay.
Now, the fun thing about the British is that who did they fight during the wars?
Oh, it was definitely the US, 100%.
Yeah, so basically, we're walking around the pyramids, which they've moved away from Cairo because obviously they want it to seem a little bit more like they're just out in the middle of the desert somewhere.
Fair enough.
They have Giza Village, which is like the little village area, and you're like, okay. I kind of maybe that. Like, again, my information on the pyramids at that time, I'm like, maybe Cairo has expanded a little bit more, but I don't. Like, obviously it's expanded more, but I'm like, I don't think it's like being like one of those things where they were like up here and then they were like expand, and they expanded all the way to the pyramids. It was like more like they were already close to the pyramids and they were like expand a little bit, like, you know, how
and then they expanded further away.
Yeah. But anyway, my point is, I think that Cairo should be close to the pyramids. It shouldn't be quite as deserty as it appears in the game.
Okay.
That's but you know, for the sake of the game, I can do that. The thing that's really getting my goat is the fact that it was like there's all these like Nazi patrols around the pyramid, like Egypt's biggest thing, and again, this is where we talk about the wars. So fun fact, in World War One, the Australians were at the pyramids, Like there are pictures of Australian soldiers in World War One, like sitting on the pyramids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And because they were based in a camp near Cairo, so they were right near the pyramids.
So having those patrols really don't make sense.
So having the Nazis walk around with guns and stuff and being on patrol and pretty much saying who can and can't go near the pyramids doesn't make any sense, because at that time it would actually be the British in charge of that, and the British aren't the Nazis.
No.
So because then they're being like, how would the Nazis have such a good like
a stronghold there?
A stronghold here when this is somewhere that the British Army would actually be. The British Army had a lot of interest in Egypt because Egypt has the Suez Canal.
Well,
Suez. Yeah, Suez.
Sounds right.
And, they relied upon that. So I don't really think they'd just be like, yeah, the Nazis can build, even though the war hasn't started yet, and, the English weren't really, stamping on the Nazis before the war started. They were kind of like, yeah, do what you want. Yeah. I don't really think they would let them build a base where they have bombers and blimps and...
It's kind of evidence that they're about to start a war.
It's very much you guys sitting there being like, you come into this base and you're just like, wait, this is in Egypt? This wouldn't be in Egypt. Because if the British would be like, hey, you guys aren't allowed to have that.
Yeah.
You guys shouldn't have any of this stuff. Remember you signed that treaty where you're not allowed to have any of this stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like, so not only are they doing it there, they're doing it in a country that is pretty much under British control.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then as I said, then they're just like walking around with their guns and stuff, and there's Nazi patrols. Again, it wouldn't make a good game if there weren't as many Nazis to beat up.
Well, yes,
because you got to sneak through and beat them on the head with a broom and take their guns and shoot them, and all that kind of stuff. This is even before I even talked about what I did in this game, but I was just sitting there being like, it doesn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would have preferred if it was if they were just like somewhere in Egypt and they didn't have the pyramids. And I know that's a little bit harder for the game to want to do, because if you're in Egypt, you want to show off the pyramids. That's what Egypt is known for.
Obviously.
Especially an archaeologist like Indiana Jones, he's going to be near the pyramids because the pyramids are awesome. And it's yes, but it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
It's a bit of a hard pill to swallow. Now, I get it. There's a lot of people who would play this game who are a lot younger than me.
Yes. Or people who just haven't even researched any of it.
And they probably know nothing about the war, and they're just like, oh, from what I've heard about the war...
I will give it that I wasn't aware of the British being in control at the time. But then again, I would probably separate the Indiana Jones from the game. I'd put it in its own sort of universe, where...
Yes.
The British weren't in control in that case. So it would legitimately just be the Nazis were in control at that particular point. And it's like, but because it's...
The problem...
I would separate it only because it's like, it's a story. Yes, it is somewhat based on
the problem I run into, again, is like, I have no problem with the Nazis being in Egypt.
Yes.
And have no problem with them having a base where they could land a blimp and have a plane and all of that kind of stuff.
Again,
the problem is the fact that it's right at Cairo. And again, I know that it's like, oh, but this and that. But
I would more see
the Allied command for all of the wars that they were fighting in Africa was based in Cairo.
Yeah.
Because that's how secure Cairo was. And now, the thing is, Cairo, pyramids, Allied command, Nazi airbase.
It's a bit too much. Yeah.
It's a little bit too much.
If it was just
somewhere in Egypt,
I would
and
see
it was
like
you saw
Nazis,
the pyramids,
like just sneaking around kind of thing would be
oh,
like
absolutely. If they were
and
there,
then you'd be like, "There's a Nazi."
If they were there, because what they're doing is they're doing like an archaeological dig, right? And that's why it's like if they were doing that, and it was like, oh yeah, we have a few guards around our dig site because we don't want anything to get disrupted, it would be fine. But the fact that they're like walking around being like, yo, we've got guns and shit, and we're gonna, hey, you you shouldn't be here. And it's like, excuse me, I'm an American, and this place is pretty much being run by the British. I can be wherever I want. Like, the fact that they're like, hey, you shouldn't be here. And it's like, no, you shouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be telling me what to do.
Exactly. That's sort of the problem.
You've currently been given the okay to be here.
Exactly. So, like, if it was like that, so I would much prefer it's like if they were like, hey, we're going to Egypt, and you saw the pyramids, but then you went further away, so they were like just far off. You could just kind of far off see them in the distance, and you're in like this innocuous little village in a patch of the desert where they're doing a dig site because they've found something that isn't actually there. Then the reality kind of switches off, and you go, okay, so they've made up a place that they're digging to find this thing.
Yeah.
And you know, the British don't know about it because it's this innocuous little village that no one really gives a shit about, and that's why the Nazis have like a stranglehold on it, and that would make sense, and I would be fine with that. But just the fact that they're like, no, we're pretty much at the base of the pyramids. It's like, yeah, no.
It's a bit too much. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, even in the movie when they were sort of digging around that area, it was the same sort of thing you were describing, where they were off somewhere. Like, it wasn't a pyramid, but they were actually excavating something that was underneath.
But, like, you know, like, and the thing is, like, because of how it is, it's like, you know, as I said, the worst part of things, like, they literally land a blimp within, like, a few hundred meters of the pyramids.
Yeah.
They land one of their Zeppelins.
Yeah.
Which they weren't really supposed to have.
Yeah. Seems to be a thing of they keep having things they're not supposed to.
And when you see the thing, you see, like, a very obvious, like, bomber. Like one of the flying wing bombers that shouldn't exist at this point in time, but
yeah,
it's there, and you're like, yeah, no way would the British be like, okay, you can have blimps because they're civilian travel.
Well, yeah,
but no way would they be like, yes, absolutely, you can come right near a very important place for us, and yeah, damn right you bring your bomber.
Damn right you have that thing.
And yes, you guys can have complete control of the pyramids. You guys can march around with your soldiers and tell people they should or shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You guys can do that because we're the British and we just don't care.
Yeah.
It was like, there was a little bit of that during the interwar period, but like they did care about some things, like direct threats to them. If it wasn't a direct threat to them, they were kind of like, yeah, the Nazis are okay. But if it was a direct threat to them, they were like, yeah, no. No.
Well, let's put it this way.
No.
Putting a bomber near them was like, that's a bit of a threat.
Well, they weren't even allowed to have bombers at that point.
So it's very much a threat.
But yeah, so there's a little bit of stuff going on that it's just like, okay. And this shouldn't be happening. And these guys shouldn't be doing this. And that definitely shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
But I digress. We get into Cairo. We got to go do some stuff. Indiana Jones has his first experience with a snake in the game, which is hilarious because he gets asked to feed it. It's someone's pet. And it's like the funniest thing because you're not even really paying attention, but every time it like flashes back to him because these other two people are having a conversation, he's like pretty much like...
Take it. Because as we know, he's scared of snakes.
Yes. And then I went and did some exploring around, found some stuff, snuck into one of the Nazi bases, stole some stuff from them, knocked out a few guys. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Went and unlocked my new disguise, which is nice.
Yeah. And
then kind of ended it in the village. So I didn't do a whole lot because I did a little bit of exploring around the new stuff and had to establish the new characters and stuff that were in this area. So not a whole lot of exploring got done in Giza. Didn't take any photos of the pyramids. Not happy about that. I was like, okay, I'm standing there, I can see the pyramids, and I'm got my camera out trying to take photos, and it's like, no, I'm like, oh, so I don't care about them.
An archaeologist.
I assume I have to get closer, but at the same time, I'm just like, I can fucking see them perfectly fine from here.
Yeah. But the main thing is, other than these slight inaccuracies, does it still feel the same as the first?
Oh, it's great. It's still feeling exactly the same. It's still feeling like a good old adventure, and better now than in the Vatican, where the Vatican, I felt like I had to be very sneaky because where there were patrols, there were also a lot of civilians, and I wasn't 100% sure how the game reacted with civilians. You know, where it's kind of like, if they see me, you know, knock out a guard, they're like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that," kind of thing. Or if they'd be like, the civilians are just like,
or they just
not my programming.
Or they just like scamper off because they just saw that and want nothing to do with it.
Yeah. And I was like, but I was also like playing with the thing of being like, well, hang on, these are citizens of the Vatican, and the Vatican's this, and these guards have been invited in by the Vatican, so you would assume that you don't want to mess with them.
Well, yeah, you would assume so.
Whereas in this one, even just for like the story's sake, it's like, well, these people are being oppressed. You know, the workers here are being like oppressed by the Nazis, so I really don't mind knocking them out in front of them. Because it's kind of like, they always be like,
I wanted to do that myself for the
But there's also just
weeks.
a lot more areas where there's like no one, so it's like there would just be like a guard like walking a patrol route along the roads, and if you catch him by himself, you just knock him out, drag him off into the desert, and leave him for the buzzards, I suppose.
He is in the desert.
Okay, no one's going to find you here, so you have fun with that.
So I'm going to take you 100 meters that way, and no one will ever find you.
Pretty much, that's kind of what I'm rolling with. So
yeah.
And also because it's not so like it is a lot more. It feels a lot more open than the Vatican did in terms of like it feels bigger. Where the Vatican was like felt very small but windy. This one feels open but barren. So you kind of feel like you can start like I started a gunfight at one location because I had guns and I also had the high ground. So I was like, well, obviously I'm going to use these guns on these Nazis because I have the high ground.
Obviously.
And so I did, and like I felt like really good because I was like, there's no one really close by that's going to come running in. Whereas like in the Vatican, it was like, oh, don't use guns because everything's so enclosed and everyone's so close, really.
And that one incident you had with the gun.
I wasn't really in the Vatican, but yes.
Well, yeah.
But
it was still in a tight area.
That was a very tight area, and everyone did come. Whereas in this one, it was like bang, and they were like, "Oh no!" And then the guys who were near came, and it was like, "Yeah, that kind of feels how that should feel."
Yeah, because everyone else has been like, "Where'd that come from?"
And when I was like, "Is that a gunshot? Or was that part of like a train, or was it like a TNT going off? We are at a dig site."
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I was kind of like, "Yeah, that was it." And so yeah. Oh, and I didn't get a torch, but I got a lighter. So I can now go into dark places.
And kind of see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still would just like a torch, but
No. Why would you?
Oh, actually, I did forget one thing, which was kind of like the funniest thing.
Yeah.
So like, if you've been paying attention, like the whole time we were running around the Vatican, I was like talking about the fact that I was a whip carrying priest because I was carrying the whip under like literally under the jacket I was wearing as a priest. Like it wasn't even like concealed; it was just I was wearing like a suit jacket type thing. And the whip was hanging out to the side.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But as you're about to leave the Vatican, the bad priest like shows up and is like carrying around a whip and a gun. And I'm like, okay, well, the gun is new, but the whip has been here the whole time. I was never hiding the whip.
Yeah,
he's like, and it's like, no, the whip's. I've been running around the Vatican whipping everything.
Yeah.
The whip should not be a surprise at this point.
No, it shouldn't.
The gun, I get it. The gun's like, okay, that was a gun. Okay, yeah.
So I don't think he had that gun when he got here. It's like, fair enough, I didn't.
But the whip was there the whole time.
Yeah, and especially since you're
and the fact that he brings it up, like
hiding it when you're walking in, it's like,
the fact that I've literally just been like walking around and being like, oh, I'll whip that as a priest,
and just like in the middle of a crowd, just like, oh yeah, nice.
But like the big thing that I just found so funny was that he literally makes a point of it, and it's like, no, you should be making a point of that because it's been there the whole time. Yeah, kind of. That's one of those situations where it breaks the immersion of the game because you're like, that was there the whole time.
Yeah.
You should have seen that. You should have seen that.
That's on you.
That was there the whole time.
That's on you.
Ask about the gun. Ask why I'm not dressed as a priest. All that makes perfect sense because I've been pretending. I've been hiding the gun. I've been dressed as a priest. But the whip was always there.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so that was Indiana Jones. As I said, we're at a point now where, I'm still having fun with it. We just gotta, We just gotta roll with the fact that for some reason the British were like, "Yo, Nazis, yeah, come into Cairo. You bring your blimps, bring your soldiers. Yeah, you guys can totally have control of the pyramids."
Yeah, that seems right.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
you want to set up artillery just outside Cairo? Go for your life.
Just don't aim it at us.
Exactly. It's kind of like that. And you know what? Like as I said, there will be points where I'm like, oh, I'm fine with this because it's kind of like they're sneaking around.
Yeah.
But they're not really sneaking around. It's like no. It's like well, but they're sneaking around. It's like you can't sneak around a blimp. You can't land a blimp just outside Cairo and be like, there's no blimp there. I don't know what you're talking about. What's that big metal cigar looking thing? Nothing.
Are you okay?
Just hold up like a little plastic fan thing, you know, like the old plastic paper fans they had to like keep themselves cool. Just hold that in front of it. There's nothing there. I don't know what you're talking. It's just my fan.
That's just my fan. I think you need a drink of water.
I'm just like, oh fuck, okay. But yeah, so other than that, everything, the game is still great, but it's just that one thing that I'm like, and Indiana Jones has always been like a little bit of that, but like at the same time, they've always like been like, try and keep a little bit, we'll try and keep a little bit of your belief there that this could be happening. And I was like, no.
Screw you.
This one thing is beyond belief.
And the next place you go to is Australia. 100% where the Nazis are walking around.
Next place, we're going to London. Okay, so there's lots of Nazis around.
Hold on a second.
Exactly. We're going back to America. Nazis galore.
Oh, no.
But anyway, yes. So
surprisingly, it was just one American to start with. You took them all over somehow. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, but yeah, that was just the one thing I found really funny because I was just like, oh, it's a little bit anachronistic.
Yeah.
But as I said, the game's still fun, so I'm still enjoying that.
That's always good.
Yes.
So, I guess moving on now.
Moving right along.
To Wednesday. I swear we're recording this on Thursdays more often to stop me from saying today.
Well, when works out better that way,
So, anyway, Wednesday this week was Helldivers.
It was part 2 of, I think, 3 parts that we filmed with our mate Nick.
Yes.
This is the first time you actually guys hear Nick. And let me tell you, your guys' mics were set different, so it was a little bit of a pain to do all the editing on your side.
Okay, fair, sounds right.
But I just had to quiet Nick down a bit. He was pretty loud.
Yeah, well, he's only just recently got that mic, so I don't think he's played around with it too much.
Oh, look, it's not even a real big deal.
Yeah.
It was just funny because it was like there were points where you are mumbling and it can barely be heard, and points where Nick is just like lightly saying something and it's like he's screaming.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, no, it was we're back against the Illuminate, and
we didn't do horribly, if I remember correctly.
You did, but that's to be expected.
I said the royal we. We didn't do too bad.
Nick pretty much carried us. He went and did all the jobs. I went and did a lot of clearing, and you were a handicap almost the entire time.
That sounds.
But
correct.
it's Helldivers. The whole point of these 3 is that I had just recently bought it on the Xbox and wanted to do some leveling, so that's pretty much what we were doing. And
pretty much, yeah. I think that was also the one where. Oh no, I think that was another day. I was thinking at the time I was like with Nick, and then Nick went off to do something else. I'm like, oh, but there's a thing over here.
I think that's the same day.
But that's right. We kept playing after we finished recording. Yeah.
Yeah, we played an extra like hour and a half after we finished recording, and then there was also when we went and played with Jade.
Yeah,
and Nick.
But yeah, at which point I ran into a nest.
Yeah,
it wasn't even just a nest. It's like it was a nest, but then the stalkers were all there.
That was the time we played with Jaden. And
yeah,
Nick. And that was when me and Nick were off doing something in mech suits, and you and Jaden were sitting there being like, "There's no nest near us. Why do these things keep attacking us?" And we're like, "There's got to be a nest." And
initially, Jaden wasn't anywhere near me when this is happening because I found a nest and I'm like, I'm destroying the nest, and I thought that was it.
Yeah.
It turns out it wasn't.
But
and
anyway,
there was one just a little.
long
further
story short, me and Nick get back there in these mech suits that Nick has called in for us.
up. Yes.
I've got like 4 shots left, and I like walk up, and they're like, we keep getting attacked by stalkers. I see one coming. I'm like, yeah, because there's a stalker nest right there. I'm like looking at it, and they're like, what? No, that's just
In my defense, I hadn't walked up that way to begin with because it was a little bit higher. And then the next thing was when I did go near it next, I was like, that looked so similar to the one I was at before. I was like, no, we've already destroyed that.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
like it took me and Nick being like, because we destroyed one of them. We'd already destroyed one of them, but then we went over and we're like, this is your problem right here.
Well, I think I stopped sort of looking for the stalker nest when you're like, we've destroyed the nest. I'm like, cool.
I destroyed it in like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, no.
It was like the very first thing I did.
I know.
But yeah,
that's why when I started ignoring it, I was like, what the fuck?
Because it was also that was also the day where you and Nick would go off, and me and Jaden would go off. But there was also that one map that just had like 50 hell bombs on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I just kept shooting them.
Yeah.
And I think that one was hilarious because we were all out of ammo except we were all out of ammo for our big guns.
Yes.
And we were being chased. I was being chased by I think it was 2 chargers. Chargers are the big scaly ones, right? That are super hard to kill.
That also run at you?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a
I
charger.
was being chased by 2 of them. They killed Jaden. You and Nick were on your way, but you didn't really have anything to kill it either because Nick had used up all of his suits. And we were
I think
like,
I had a little bit of heavy ammo left. But it wasn't.
and we're like running, and I'm like, oh no. And then Jaden's like, what are we going to do? I'm like, I have a plan. I just run to a hell bomb. As they both come at me, I shoot it and blow it up. And everyone's like, hey Darcy, you died. I'm like, yeah, I know, but died like a hero.
yeah, I do remember that actually. Yeah. Oh, that was gold.
That was a day that we almost failed a mission because like we were down to our last drops.
Yes. We quite often get to those.
But that was also the one where we couldn't find like half the samples, and we've literally searched everywhere. Like we'd split up and done a full sweep of the map, and couldn't, and had still missed.
And then when we'd finished our sweeps, we swapped sides and then swept again, and it was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, that was crazy. But you know, that was Helldivers. We love it.
Yes.
We don't really love it. I enjoy playing it.
It's good fun occasionally.
I enjoy playing it. What I really want to do though is I really want to bite the bullet and just buy Space Marine on the Xbox.
Yeah.
That way you can jump on my Steam account and play it on your laptop, and I can play on the Xbox, and we can play some Space Marine because that has elements like Helldivers in the multiplayer stuff, except you also don't feel quite so squishy because you're a Space Marine. And you're like, oh my god, we're fighting thousands of bugs, and you're like, but I'm also a Space Marine. Fuck you, I have a hammer.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so yeah, but I really want to play that because I really think you would enjoy that, and I really love it. But of course,
I agree. I think I would.
I've also got to buy Battlefield 6, which I think I'm going to buy first. I think I'm going to buy Battlefield 6 first. I think I'm going to buy that this weekend so I can play some. But yeah, then I want to get Space Marine. The only issue with Space Marine is I'm kind of waiting for it to go on sale because the version I want to buy on the Xbox is $200.
Yeah, fair.
Well, I could spend $200 on a video game. I've done it before.
Many times.
The truth is, not many times. I spent
suppose.
$160 on video games many times.
Whereas
I only spent over $200 on a video game once, and it was for the Halo Reach limited edition that came with that big statue that you can see in the background.
Well, yes.
There it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, you know, at the time, I was like, this is really expensive, but look at all the stuff I'm getting. And it's kind of saddening to me now that it's like, now I'm spending about that same amount of money. I'm like, look at all this stuff. Oh, no, I'm just getting the base game.
Yes, I'm not getting anything else.
Like, to be fair, with the Space Marine ones, I am getting more than the base game. I'll be getting, like, that version comes with all of the add-ons and the 2 season passes. So it is coming with a little bit more, but, like, yeah, we live in a world where people are talking about the base games of video games being that price, and it's like, that's scary.
We used to get so much for that.
I'm like, I got a giant statue.
We used to get collectibles for that price.
I remember when it came out, it was like one of the most expensive ones of all time, though, at that point in time.
Yeah, but it was a decent sized collectible as well, so it wasn't
the box was like this big.
Oh, that's right. It was one of the bigger boxes too. I do remember.
It came with a lot of stuff, but then we kind of got to the ones where it was like, oh, this collectible's 500. This one's like $500 to get the collectible, and you're like, okay, what's the collectible? It's like one little statue, and you're like, oh, like no.
Nah. Yeah, no.
But yeah.
Well, then there was the one where it's like the one I was looking at initially until I saw the price, which was the Darksiders 3 one. Where it's like, if you spend, you can get 3 figurines, one of War, Death, and Fury. $700 a month. No.
Okay, can I just get War and Death, and can we see how that price goes? I only want the good ones.
It's like, no, you've got to buy all 3. Fuck.
Yeah. No, like, in all honesty, you can probably tell, guys, from looking in the background, I did buy a few collectible games in the past.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing was just like, at the time, you were paying, I think for the Black Flag one,
yeah,
I paid $120 for that.
Yeah. The collectibles, like, you get a figurine, because it was the physical one. A lot of them also came with like a soundtrack disc and all that
Season pass, everything.
Season pass, and it's like,
and you're like
$120. It's like, I'm getting a lot for $120.
Yeah, whereas now it's kind of like, and you know what? I can understand that being unsustainable.
Yeah, okay.
I can definitely see that being unsustainable. It just kind of feels like now I'm paying $120 and getting like nothing. It's like I'm not even getting a physical copy of the game. I'm just kidding. I'm getting a license to play it, and it's like, cool.
You're getting the right to play it as long as they don't
take it down. As long as they don't take it down. Well, see, that's the other thing that I've had some real kind of like things with. It's like banning people from things. Yeah, that's questionable. Yeah. Like, because like, oh, we banned you because you broke our terms of service, and it's like, cool. I still paid you the money though, so you kind of either have to refund me or not ban me.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. Like, I've seen a lot of talk online.
Because a video game, it's like, oh, well, to participate in the online stuff, you need to have you need to agree to our terms of service. It's like, cool, yeah, I understand that. But like, just to play it by myself, on just like to play it, especially games where it's like they've got the single player and the multiplayer parts. Yeah, I paid for the game.
Yeah.
And let's face it, some of the terms of service are fucking absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
You can't say fuck. Well, fuck that. Hey, you said bad language.
It's like, no, you're being banned because you swore once. It's like, I'm playing an R18 plus game. Why does it
Your
matter?
game swears.
It's like, exactly. It's like, it's all those sorts of things.
You swore at another player who took it poorly. Okay, but your game swears.
I was playing GTA 5 one day, and I managed to get some 12-year-old who was apparently actually 14, and wouldn't accept the fact that we were going to continue calling him 12. I got him to stop swearing.
Nice.
And it was the thing of like, he started swearing. I'm like, wait, what are you doing? He's like,
I was
just
fucking 12-year-olds don't swear.
No, it wasn't even that. It was more so the thing of like, wait, stop swearing. It's like, well, why should I stop swearing? He's like, well, one, it's not nice, and two, you're like 12. And he's like, yeah, but we're playing this game. And it's like, yeah, but you're 12. Weren't you swearing before? It's like, I'm in 12. My 20s.
I'm not 12.
I'm allowed to swear. I'm allowed to make that decision. You're 12. It's like, I'm not 12, I'm 14. It's like, it doesn't mean that you're actually 12. You're still 12. Stop swearing. And he eventually stopped swearing, and then Nick joins. And then Nick just throws a grenade at him and he's like, oh, you fucking... And he just started going off at him. He's like, wait, why are you swearing? He's like, I'm over 20.
you got to play it the way I always did with like the people we worked with at Bunnings.
Yeah.
I think it was Kirsten who, like, every time I'd see her, she got younger.
Yeah.
And it pissed her off to no end. I'd be like, oh, look, it's the 12-year-old. She's like, I'm not 12. I think this was like when she was 18. She's like, I'm 18. And I'm like, oh, right, 7.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And she's like, fuck you. And I'm like, just because you look like a 7-year-old girl is not my problem.
That's your problem.
I'm out.
Unfortunate for you.
Peace. But yeah, no. But yeah, I've done that to like so many people. Like the second they're like, no, I'm older than you think than that. And they're like, and it's like petty. It's like you just keep getting younger. Yeah. Like, Nick, stop swearing. There's a 7-year-old in the lobby with us.
No, he wasn't even the one that swore. It's like I just like I think at least four
Expletives.
yeah, in a row. And then he's just like, wait, why are you allowed to say it? It's like, okay, can you grab the case for the game? And he's like, yeah, okay, look at it. Okay, what does it say in the corner? It's like R18 plus. It's like, cool. Are you 18? No.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not allowed to swear. I am above 18. I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Suck it.
Yeah, so anyway, we played some Helldivers, and we just, we messing around in Helldivers. Kris was a disappointment. Actually, Kris was a real disappointment.
That time, yeah.
There's this one thing that I remember from the edit, which was just so fucking funny. It was so funny because we're talking about how many samples we've got, and Nick's like, I've got 6 samples. You're like, oh, we've got 9 as a whole, so I must have 3. And I went, no, I've got 2, and you went, fuck off. Like, you didn't believe me? And I'm like, no, I definitely picked up more than 1.
See,
and I'm just like, oh, it turns out, Kris, you're not important to me.
See, what would have happened is I would have picked up more than 1. Died.
Yeah.
Nick picked them up,
Oh,
and then I just disregarded the fact that I died.
That's 100% what was happening. But it was just so funny because you're like, oh, so I must have 3. Oh wait, no, Darcy said he picked up a sample, so I must have 2. And I'm like, I've got 2, and you went, fuck off. It was just such a. It was the exact reaction you have when someone like tells you something you know is a lie, except it was the truth. And at the end of that, you had no samples because you just kept dying so much that I was just like, no, okay, I'll pick it all up. I'll take all the samples.
Yeah, but then next time we played with fucking Jaden, I was the one carrying the most samples.
Well, see, I always say that though because it's something that I like truly believe in is that you shouldn't split your samples up between everyone.
No,
one person should be carrying all the samples. And why is that? Well, it just means you don't have to go... If someone goes and dies, you don't have to then run over to get all the 6 samples they'll carry.
Yeah, we don't have to go to like 3 different spots to get all the samples. It's just like, well, they're all over there. We've just got to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that person has all the samples. So, 1, make sure they get out. And 2, make sure they're alive.
Yes.
And,
if they aren't alive, pick the fuckers up.
They died. Well, that's all of the samples. We'll just go over there and get them.
Yes.
We don't have to worry about being like, okay, hang on. 3 of us just died then. How many samples were each of us carrying? Oh, so we've got to go all over the map again? It's just one of those things.
Well, the only difficulty with that is because we do split up.
Oh,
we've got to meet up and then give them something.
Like, that's the thing. We when we do split up, we do meet up and then we go and do other things. So it's like, like when we meet up, we really should just depositing all of our samples to one person.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Yeah.
But that's later.
Yeah.
That's next time we play.
That involves thinking.
We will probably forget about that when we play.
No, because I say it every time. It is literally something that I'm just like, this is how you should do samples in this game.
So maybe this is the first time I've listened to you say.
Because, like, when we're doing stuff, because, like, every time we're actually playing and you die, I'll be like, where are your samples? And you're like, oh, don't worry, I picked them up. And I'm like, no, I was just going to grab them to consolidate all of our samples. Because you died 3 feet away from me or whatever. You died in the same vicinity as me. I was just going to pick them up that way. All of our samples are in one thing.
Fair enough.
The only time I'm not like that is like when I'm like, bang, I died all the way over there. I've got to go over there and get my samples now. I'm not going to make you go over and grab them. It's like, so I'll go grab them. But it's like when you die near each other, it's like, just tell me where your samples are. That way we can consolidate all of the samples in this area into one person.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. The only annoying one is if you're the only one on one side of the map and the rando that joined for a split second revives you and you're like, well, now I'm on the other side of the map.
Yes, well,
that's annoying.
There's that. But anyway, I digress. We played Helldivers. It was fun. Yes. It was good. It was great.
Indeed. That's how it always is.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
Always is.
Yeah. This week's no Minecraft?
No, last week had a Minecraft, so this week there's no Minecraft.
I was just trying to remember which week we were at. Yes.
Yes, which, is something else I have to do as well, which is set up another Minecraft server. But that's something that I got to work on and think about and figure out, then translate to Kris. But pretty much, we've talked about it before, but I want to set up a Sky Factory 4 Minecraft server so that we can play some Sky Factory 4.
Yeah.
These things happen.
It's in the works. We will get there.
It's in the works, and it'll probably be popping up sometime between now and Christmas.
Yeah.
But I also have to go into the Minecraft server and just do a bunch of Christmas stuff anyway.
Well, yes, yeah.
I have the Christmas challenge to start making. Hopefully that's not going to be as difficult as the Halloween challenge because it doesn't require any of the mechanics that the Halloween one had. This one's just all about look and style, and I've already got like the base built out in the middle of the ocean somewhere, so now I've just got to build it up and start building it. So I'll probably jump in, do some of the preliminary stuff just to make it all work out for me, and then we'll get started on doing that, and you guys will get to see me start building that one. So that'll be good fun.
It should be.
And so yeah, we've got a bit to do in Minecraft, but it's one of those things where it's just like, this time of year is generally the busiest because like we've got Halloween and Christmas, which are probably the closest two things that we do.
Yeah, it would be.
Because then we got from Christmas to Easter, we got about 4 months.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. And
then from Easter to Halloween, we've got most of a year.
Yes. Yet we still wait till the last 4 weeks.
Now, to be fair,
to do some of that recording, we wait till the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. I just don't want to have, like, I don't like holding on to footage for too long. Like, I don't want to record
my main look at is, like, record the Halloween challenge, because you're generally working towards the Halloween challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a challenge. Doing that in a couple of weeks beforehand makes sense. But some of the other stuff, like the alien isolation, we could probably do it, like, 6 weeks beforehand, and there's plenty of time. We just keep not doing it.
Well, I think the biggest thing was that, like, we knew it was coming up. We knew we had to get stuff done. It's just we didn't really have
the spare time.
Yeah, we didn't really have a whole lot of time this year. I don't know why. I can't get my head around why all of a sudden it was like it was here and there was nothing we could do about it. But I have no concept of why that happened. Like, it was just kind of like, oh shit, like normally we'd have other stuff and we'd film things and
there's the scratch.
Little shit. This time it just seemed like we didn't have any of this time we'd normally. But I kind of been feeling that for the last like 6 months, and so it's like everything's kind of been easier channel wise. It just also doesn't feel like we're getting as much filming as we used to get done. If that makes sense.
I mean, some of it's. I think some of it's been like you've had softball.
Yeah.
And then when you get your one day off, which is the Sunday, you're like, I can't be bothered to record today.
It's not really a day off. The day off is the softball day. On Sunday, I'm editing the videos.
Oh yeah, true. But it's one of those things that you generally, like, we plan to do something on that Saturday, and then you get home and you pretty much just crash.
Yeah, I am fucked. I have been fucked when I'm getting home.
So I think it's been you picked up the squad because I've been available on those Saturdays. Like, because when I finish work, I'm fine to do a recording after work because I'll generally finish at about 3:30 on a weekend.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the things is that I there are times when I'm like, I know we're available to do a recording on a Saturday. I'm just like, but it is my day off. It is the one day I don't have to do anything for the channel. I'm like, And then I was like, other days where I was like on a Friday where I'd be available to do recording. I'm like, oh no, but Kris has just finished work and I don't want to get on him and be like, hey, we got to do this. And so I'm like, I'll just let him. We'll do it this later.
Yeah, it's pretty much one of those things that I'm okay to do that sort of stuff after work. It's just one of those things of like, if I finish at 5, I'm not going to do anything until 6:37.
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, no, I get that. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like, we've been... And the other thing is, like when we started this channel, it seemed like we'd get together more. Like, so we'd come and do the recording. Like, we'd get together like 3 times a week or whatever to do all the recordings we had to do.
Pretty much.
Whereas now it's kind of like...
Well, now I think it's because we've gone down the track of, like, I'm doing recording as well.
Yeah.
So, because we're doing it outside of here, like, when I'm here, it's generally, I'm here to do something. So we get into it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we talk for a bit beforehand or after, but we always do that.
Yeah.
But when we're at home, it's like, oh, are they available? Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
sort
I don't
of
know. And like we have made it easier to do, like with you getting some of your setup at home set up more and all that. It's easier to film more things. It's just that sometimes it feels like we're not. Anyway, I digress. That's not super important. It's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the plan is hopefully with next year being next year and me changing up a lot of stuff about my life, that we'll be able to just do more generally, because I'm going to have a lot more free time. I'm also going to have because I'll be doing more stuff, it's like I'm going to have more free time yet less free time.
Well, yes, yeah.
But because I'm doing more stuff, I don't have to do as much of my job, and my job seems to be the thing that's really kicking my ass right now.
Well, it takes a lot of time out of your day.
It takes a lot of time out of my day. It also kind of like, it's the most inconvenient thing because it's like, oh yeah, you're working till...
Well, the issue is it's inconvenient because it's like the time you finish is the time you're working generally is the time that I'm also available.
Yeah.
And then once you finish, it's like, we can do a recording at that point, but I've been up since 5:30 that morning.
Yeah.
And it's late enough. Like, yeah, I'm not going to sleep for the next 3 hours, but
it's late. And like the other thing is like, I lose like all of my afternoon. Like it's not even like, and it's like one of those things where people are like, but you don't work that many hours. I'm like, yeah, but I work really inconvenient hours. If I was doing it through the day, I'd have all of the afternoon, evening.
Yeah.
But I do it at the start of the afternoon and work through until night. And like, not like night as in like, oh, it's 7 o'clock, it's night. It's like night as in like, oh, it's almost late night.
It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Now it's time to drive home.
By the time I get home, I had some food and, done all the stuff that I've got to do to be ready. It's like, oh, cool, it's like 10 o'clock at night now. Fun.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, so again, we're almost at late night. Because I think late night kicks in about 11 o'clock.
No, I agree.
Yeah. And then, late night goes until about 2 a.m. and then we're in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that seems right.
Early morning, but morning nonetheless. But yeah, no, so that's sort of like my whole thing. It's like, I think that like hopefully next year, it's going to be a little bit of a culture change because I've got to get back into studying. But I'm also kind of sitting there looking at some of the courses I've got to take and being like, cool, that will require no studying at all. Like one of my courses I have to take is Introduction to Algebra. I'm like, I teach kids how to understand algebra. I should be good with an introduction to it.
Yeah, you would think so.
I explain what algebra is and how it works and, how to do it. I should be good with Introduction to Algebra.
That should be like a 20-minute job for you.
So like,
done.
What I'm hoping is it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, so here is the test. It's like, have you done any study? Nah, I've got this.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, so that's that. That's hopefully next year everything's going to be a little bit more streamlined, and hopefully we can keep doing this and hit those milestones that we're chasing.
Yes.
Speaking of that, subscriber count, Kris.
330.
330.
Yeah.
So again, we are literally 4 people away from hitting the next milestone.
Yes.
Obviously,
So close.
because over Halloween, I didn't put out any shorts, and shorts are one of our most visual things. Like that's where most people come from. I didn't expect a whole lot of change, but the fact that we have a whole week of Halloween stuff means that there's more stuff to make shorts from.
Well, yeah, that's
which is
true.
great. So, yeah. Anyway, that just about sums up channel news. Kris, anything to add?
No, I think it's pretty well.
Didn't think so.
Yeah, well, hang on.
Didn't think so.
Jeez. Every time we're gonna just go to it.
Let's move along.
Indeed.
Well, guys, I think the most important thing that happened between now and the last podcast was that the Dodgers went back-to-back.
Nice.
And even though I don't have it yet, because I'm wearing last year's hat, I have already pre-ordered my this year's hat.
Oh, so that's why you were saying you needed a new hat.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I looked at it and I'm like, you kind of looked a little disappointed and I'm like, oh, they must have lost.
No, we won. The first one was back-to-back, baby. That told you we won. Now it's like, Time to get a new hat.
Oh shit, it was too. Yeah.
Time to get
Apparently, I just didn't pay attention to the
Time to get a new hat because I need the 2025 championship hat.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
But because so I bought another copy of this one
Yeah.
because when I was buying the new one, it was like this one was down to $20, and like if you can't probably tell on the video, but I wear this for a while. This was my only Dodgers hat, so I was wearing it for a lot.
Yeah.
And I was wearing it outside and stuff, and out on the softball fields, and it was getting a little bit. It's a little bit dirty. It's been dirtied,
Yeah.
and I want a pristine one, and they were on sale for like 60 or 67% off or something like that.
Jesus Christ, yeah, that's pretty
So
good.
it was like $20 instead of like $70, and I was like, I will buy another one.
Yeah, maybe.
And so basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to get the new hat won't be here until like Christmas time.
Yeah, fair.
So I was just like, Mum, I ordered the hat. Take it off my rent, and I'll give it to me for Christmas. And
Fair enough.
and she was like, okay. And I was like, so now what I've got to do is I've got to go and see my sister's other half and talk to him about helping me put together a little display box. And I'll go to Bunnings, I'll get like some clear acrylic, make 2 little windows, one in the top, one in the front, and I'll have a little display box that I can put both hats in and keep them in good condition.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It is a good
And then
idea.
next year, when they inevitably win again, it'll be super cheap for last year,
Not
this year's.
Not an inevitability.
Oh, okay. So,
It's not
so if
an
they
inev-
win again next year, then it'll be super cheap for this year's one, and then you can get one that you can wear.
Well, even if they don't, when the next year's champions are crowned, this year's championship hat should, if there is any still in stock, should go down because it's no longer the current hat.
True. And then you can wear that one instead of the one that's in them.
And then I can have another one to wear.
Exactly.
But if we do go back to back, which could happen, it's not a definite thing.
Yeah.
We are still the best team, but Toronto took us. They showed us some weaknesses that we got to work on.
That is true, yeah.
And
But ideally,
it's a long season. Like this
Yeah.
this is something that I think a lot of people who don't follow baseball don't understand. It's like, oh, the Dodgers are the best. They are the best, but at the moment they're the best. They won the World Series. However, to get there again, they've got to be one of the best teams over a season that is 163 games.
oh yeah, it's a massive.
Then the postseason, and it's like injuries happen. People just, by the time you get to that postseason, you've been playing nearly every day for 160 for a couple of months at that point.
Yeah.
Like they don't play every day, but people are playing multiple days.
Yeah.
I think the funniest thing about professional sports in America is, except for football, I don't know about hockey, but basketball and baseball, it's like, oh, you're a professional sports person, so what you do once a week, and they're like, no, we play like 6 or 5 days a week, and it's like, oh, like a real job.
yeah, it's an actual job. So literally them getting paid the money that they get paid is like, sometimes it makes sense.
Not really, because
It's
they
still a
are
lot.
paid a lot of money.
Yeah, no, okay, fair enough. It is a lot of money, but you've also got to look-
Most professional baseballers will make more in a year than anyone else will make in a lifetime.
No, I'm aware. I'm well aware of that, but they're also looking at it, it's like how much media are they bringing and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
So there is a little more to their pay than just, hey, you're on the team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But so there's but if they can go back to back, that'll be great. But the thing is, like this year we had an issue with our bullpen. Last year we had an issue with our starters. Like most of our starters at the postseason were injured.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This year our stars were all good and they were doing great. Our bullpen was a bit weak. But then Game 3 of the World Series came along, and our bullpen was like, excuse us, we're here to show you how good we are, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that was 18 innings, so that was 2 baseball games pretty much, because baseball game is 9 innings. They played 18 to come to a winner.
Jesus Christ.
So it was over 6.5 hours of playing baseball or something like that. And so
that's ridiculous.
The thing
Holy
is,
shit.
that was this postseason was like, last year we pretty much swept. We didn't sweep, but we picked up the Yankees, we gave them a spank, and we sent them on their way.
Yeah.
We were done. This year, it came down to the wire. Like, quite literally, Game 7 tied at the end of the 9th innings, with 2 outs left to before the Blue Jays won. Mickey Rojas came up and was like, I got this, boys. Smacked it over the thing, tied up the game, and then we went into sudden death overtime, pretty much.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if the Blue Jays scored at all, because we'd only tied, if they scored, it's over.
Yeah.
They didn't score. It was bases loaded, they didn't score.
Oh, fuck. Jesus.
Bases loaded, we needed 2 outs, they didn't score. And we were like, holy crap, we're still in this. Then the 10th innings rolled around. No one scored. Once again, bottom of the 10th innings, sudden death. All they need to do is get someone around the bases. Innings 11. Shohei Ohtani up to bat. Best player of this generation. Gets out.
Yeah.
Will Smith comes up. You know, he's a star, but he's reliable, and he hits a home run. We've got the lead. I think for the first time in this game, we have the lead.
Yeah.
Their best player comes up to bat.
Oh, fuck.
Off the very top of the next innings, their best player's up to bat. Hits a 2-baser. He's on there. He's in scoring position, ready to go. All they need is a hit. They bunt. He moves to third. We get the out. 1 out. Runner on third. A phenomenal hitter comes up to hit. He's been hitting all postseason. Out into the outfield. They walk him. They show him. They walk him. He's at first. Up comes another of their good players. Their catcher. He's hit a couple home runs against us this game, through this series. Throw one, it's a strike, and we're looking, okay, no, we got this. We just need to get 2 outs. He hits the ball, breaks his bat. It's a slow dribbler well, it's not really slow dribbler, it's to shortstop, who runs, hits second, gets the runner at first out, throws the ball to first. The catcher isn't the fastest runner. Double play. Dodgers win the World Series. On a knife's edge, mate. On a knife's edge.
Jesus Christ, that's something.
And
you know, like, that's one of the advantages to baseball over most cricket.
There's
a winner. There's a winner.
But, like, you know, it was just like the whole postseason or the whole World Series was this knife edge kind of gameplay. It was like Toronto would win, then we would win, then we would win, and we're like, oh, we're up, and then Toronto would win, and then Toronto were up, and we were like, oh, crap, now we've got to go back to Toronto, and they're up, they just need to win 1 game, then we win. And it's like, holy shit, we're going to Game 7. Game 7, what's going to happen? Well, no one could have predicted what happened in Game fucking 7.
Well, yeah.
It was amazing. It was great. And we won, which is fantastic. The boys got to celebrate, and, you know, that's what you want to see.
Obviously, yeah.
And then, And then now we have the opportunity to do it again with pretty much the same team.
Yeah.
That's the real big thing. We have almost the same team, which means that we are in a good position. We just need to keep everyone healthy.
Well, yeah, that's it.
And that's the scary thing, because there's a lot that can happen in such a long period of time. But
it's a rough one.
Yeah, so that was the most important thing that happened this week. I also went to a Halloween party with our mate Jordan. I was dressed as a blue Dodger. He was dressed as a red Bunnings worker.
I heard about that.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. He was walking around giving everyone 10% off.
Yeah. He told me about that one.
It was good fun. You should have been there.
He was Jeff? No, I tried. I couldn't.
Should have been there.
Yeah.
So, and I had a lot of people going up to me being like, one more game, because it was the day before the final game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people being like, I'm a Toronto fan and I hope you guys lose. And I'm like, oh, we're the best team in the world, so we're not going to lose.
Just have fun.
And I was like, yeah, and then just to win it. And like off that night where I was having such a good night and I was dressed as a Dodger and everyone was like either being like, yeah, or you suck. And then to win it, and I was just like, fuck yeah. That was great.
There was another good thing that's happened this week, though.
What was that?
Well, there was a game. A game has been put out as a demo. Now, you may have seen it. You may not have.
Maybe.
Just think dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Giant swords. Souls-like. It's almost Souls-like type game, but you're effectively playing as a dinosaur
with a giant sword.
Originally this guy would have been, I think it was about 2 years ago, put out a little clip of like a T-Rex with like Cloud's Buster sword in his mouth.
Right.
And he was like fighting with it, that sort of stuff. And everyone was like, oh, that's cool, you should make it a game. So he's been working for the last 2 years to make it a game.
Right.
And the demo has just been released for it. It's free on Steam.
I'm not gonna lie, I was talking to someone just the other day, and I was like, I actually don't like the game industry as it is right now.
Yeah.
Because everything either has to be a battle royale or have battle royale in it.
Yeah.
Or be a Souls-like.
Yeah.
And
well, this one was just because.
Oh no,
like
no,
I said,
don't get me wrong.
This is an independent. This guy's been
people
working on it by
will
himself,
love it and it'll be fine. But I just like I'm just so upset that that's kind of like where mainstream gaming is right now.
Oh yeah,
it's like,
it can be summed up into two things.
It's a Souls-like or it's a battle royale.
Yeah.
I think there's been a few steps over the last like couple of years for AAA gaming at least, because I know indies have always been indies, and you're always going to have indies that are doing the job, making the fun, weird games.
Yeah.
But the fact that AAA games have been like, it's got to be Souls-like, single player, or it's got to be multiplayer with a battle royale, is being like, fucking hell, where are all of the other games?
Well, see, the other games that are coming out are like, I've noticed a few of them are like, they're games I want to play, but I don't want to play online.
Yeah.
I want to play them by myself, or
I was having
a
thought the other day, and I was like, when was the last big, like, single-player RPG Witcher 3 style game that came out that wasn't a Souls-like? Because there are Souls-like that have the RPG elements.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, it's still a Souls-like. I'm like, when was the last one that came out that was just a RPG? I'm like, I guess the answer is Final Fantasy Rebirth, but that didn't come out for everything. That came out for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest things I heard was someone being like, yeah, so Rebirth didn't sell as well as the remake. And I was like, of course it hadn't sold as well as the remake. It came out on one console.
Yeah.
The remake has been out on all the consoles and the PC, and people can buy it. For the moment, until they put it out on the PC and the Xbox, which they do plan to do, I was like, Rebirth, you have to have a PlayStation 5 to play.
Yeah.
Meaning, they've literally gone like, let's cut our market into a third, and it hasn't sold as well as we were hoping.
And then cut it in half, because they're not putting it on the PS4 or anything like that, because not everyone has a PS5 yet. So they still limited themselves there.
My point is, I'm like, I think what needs to happen now is that video games can't be exclusive anymore. Not if you want to, not in the current industry, and not if you want to be able to keep your doors open. Because if you're not selling to everyone who wants to buy, because you've got a deal with, let's keep console exclusivity.
Well, yeah, like not everyone's as lucky as others. They don't have every console.
But also,
so, like,
some people have no wish to get some of these consoles.
Well, yeah, and that's it. Like, for
people
me,
who have good PCs don't want to go out and buy a PlayStation or an Xbox. They're like, I've got a PC that can do it all. That's better than those two things. Why would I downgrade just to play this game?
So whereas my thing is like, I started with the PS5 and then I was like, upgraded the Xbox.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got the laptop, but it's not as good as like an actual PC.
Oh yeah,
still good, but I still have every option if I want.
Yeah.
Other than some Nintendo games, which I may or may not get upgraded.
Look, the truth is, like, me and you are gamers. We put money into our gaming stuff.
Yeah.
There are people who don't have that opportunity. There are also people who, as I said, have a PC and go, I should be able to play everything I want on this.
Yeah. Because
I have a very good PC. And the reality is, in the gaming world that we live in, where studios are being shut down for not performing, as a studio and as a company, you can't be like, okay, well, let's limit ourselves to a portion of the market. You got to be like, no, we gotta sell to everyone because we have bills to pay.
Yeah.
And I think that's the crazy thing about it, is that there are still people out there being like, no, they shouldn't put this stuff on here, and they shouldn't do this, and they shouldn't do that.
Well, there are still people out there being like, oh, but the console war, it's like that. No.
Console war is over. PCs won.
Yes, it did.
And it was never in the war. It
kind
of just came out of nowhere and was like, oh, there's a fight going on here. stop.
Stop, don't do it. And it's like, okay, we'll stop. But there are people still, it's like, no, PlayStation only. It's like, it's great that we've got exclusives. It's like,
Look, I've said this.
No,
I've said this a couple of times, but I really think that, in all honesty, for both PlayStation and Microsoft to continue the way they have been is a mistake. I think they should look at stopping the hardware, and pretty much being like, okay, well, we're going to go into the realm of making video games, not the hardware, because the hardware is where they lose a lot of their money.
yeah, well, yeah, of course it is.
Because, you think about it, computers are thousands of dollars to get good gaming ones.
Yeah.
When Xboxes and PlayStations are starting to get to that price, but when they start to play against the computers that have the similar capabilities as them, and their price is the same, you kind of can't go against the computer. The computer's the better option. It does more stuff.
And, you can upgrade it. You can put more storage into it. You can, let's say, in a few years' time, you can upgrade the software in it. So it is now going to run better. So, there's a lot of extras.
So, like, the PlayStations and the Xboxes, when they were like $300, they were the best deal on the market.
Yeah.
As they've gone close to $1,000, you're starting to look there going like, in all honesty, if someone said to me, okay, here's the money, you can buy a PlayStation or you can buy new components for your PC, I'd be like, I have $700 to choose on what I want. Yeah, I'll go buy, well, it's actually close to $900 now, but I'll go buy $900 worth of components. That's a new power pack, that's more RAM, that's another hard drive, Yeah. And I'd probably still have some change left over to buy a game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's
sort of like, as they start getting closer and closer to the PCs, they start looking like worse and worse options.
Oh, look, 100% going down the track in the future. I'm probably never going to buy another console.
I think I'm in the same.
It'll be, next time I look at upgrading, it'll be moving away from my laptop and going to an actual PC.
Yeah. And like I said, I really only bought the new Xbox because I already had games for it.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. I already had some games for it, so I was like, yeah.
Because I wanted to play games, I bought them on the Xbox One, and it was like, oh, you've got to have an Xbox Series X to play this game. And I was like, cool, so I've already bought these games.
Mm-hmm.
I need the new console to play them.
Yep.
That was it. If I didn't, I was sitting there going, there's actually no real reason for me to upgrade.
Yeah.
I can spend this money elsewhere. And that's I think where we're going with the gaming industry. But I just think it's silly that gaming companies are doing exclusives when there's no reason to. Like, even the new Halo game that they're making is going to be on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I think is fine.
I think it's a step in the right direction, for sure.
Well, here's my problem, right? I actually don't like it for one reason. One, fuck PlayStation. No, the PlayStation people are not going to get are going to get us what I feel is going to be an inferior Halo product.
Yeah, that's
and they're going to be like, oh, this sucks. Why was this like back in past? Why did everyone be like, this is the thing that's destroying PlayStation?
Well, let's face it. If I'm going to get Halo, it's not going on the PlayStation.
No.
I'll be getting it on the Xbox or the PC. Yeah. It's one of those.
But
more than likely the other Xbox, because I don't.
The other thing is, so apparently this is going to be all of the campaigns.
Okay.
Of Halo 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Which, I've said in many times in the past, we don't need a remake of 1 and 2. We just need a remake of 3, which is almost 20 years old now.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's we're getting all of them. I guess that's better than getting none of them.
Yeah.
But they've also done some things that are just not good. Okay. So one of the things they've done is they've added sprint to all of the Halos. None of the original Halos had sprint.
No, they didn't.
And they didn't need sprint. The whole point was that you were always moving faster. And, as someone who's played the first one recently, when you're standing next to the Marines and you start walking off and the Marines are like jogging and can't keep up, you're like, oh, I am actually moving faster.
Yeah.
So like it was like you were always.
Well, I think it makes it worse with that whole short attention span sort of situation.
Well, it's
because of that. It's
I've
like,
heard,
I've got to go faster. I can't.
I've heard arguments that's like, oh yeah, it's well, first of all, they're like it's going to ruin the balance of the game because the original 3 games didn't have sprinting.
No,
you moved through the games like you did. The other thing is that it's going to ruin like the way because the games were built for not having sprinting. But the other thing is that it's like the Halo Studios 343, practically the same thing.
Yeah.
But they've never built a Halo that didn't have sprinting. So it's almost like they're like, oh no, we don't trust not having sprinting. It's like, yeah, but you've never made the best Halo games.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And so, like, my worry is that the PlayStation is going to get an inferior product because.
Well, having said that, like, you couldn't add sprinting in the first ones anyway, because the maps weren't that big.
No, but they're adding sprinting.
You add sprinting to that, especially the mission on the island.
Well, like,
what's the point of having the vehicle there?
Exactly,
because
cars and stuff.
That was the way to get you around a little bit quicker.
In the big maps, it was the vehicles that got you around quicker. And as I said, like the thing is that you were already like I think it's funny because it's like like the whole thing with the Master Chief, and this is how they always justified not having a sprint button is that he is a superhuman. Yeah. Unlike normal humans who are carrying all their stuff and walking and might sprint for a couple of seconds to get a little bit faster, he was carrying all of his stuff and moving as fast as he could move at all times.
Yeah.
He wasn't being like, no, I'm going to move really. He was a super soldier. He was like not going like I'm going to be cautious. He was just like I'm off, and he would be off, and he'd be going, and he couldn't sprint because he was already going as fast as he could go.
We couldn't sprint because he was already sprinting.
No, okay, there is a thing.
Well, actually, like, no, because
Halo lore has the answer to the sprint question.
And you wouldn't actually be able to sprint in that.
The first time he got the armor, he sprinted.
Yeah.
And he managed to hit something like 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then all the muscles and tendons in his legs got destroyed.
Which also makes sense.
Because he was able to do it, but he,
But his body can't handle
it. They kind of went, okay, so now you see what happens if you go all out in these suits.
Yeah.
So, like, the whole thing was that he was moving as fast as was warranted.
As fast as he safely could.
Well, as fast as he needed to in the situation. And it's like, the whole thing of a sprint is, well, he doesn't need to sprint because, one, he's the Master Chief. He's not afraid of an errant like, when do people run in a battlefield when they're getting shot at and they're like, oh, quickly run
from this to get over there quick, yeah.
And Master Chief's like, no, I'm just going to jog over there because, what, they're going to shoot at me? I'm the fucking Master Chief. I'm invincible.
I'll shoot back.
Exactly. That's kind of...
Oh, sorry, let's rephrase that. It's like, what are they going to do? Shoot at me? I'll punch back.
That's sort of the whole point, is that like sprinting wasn't part of the thing because it was sort of like... It infers that at any given point the Master Chief is being slack. Because, like, there's a sprint, which means I could get over there faster, but I'm choosing to, like, slowly go over there. Whereas not having sprints, like, the Master Chief is always moving at the speed that is most useful for
the situation, yeah. But here's the thing, it's like, as much as when we've been playing 1 recently, I have gone to press a sprint button, but I have never gotten to a point of, oh, I wish it had a sprint button.
I don't think
it's always just been habit of pressing a sprint button.
I don't think there's ever a point where you're like, oh my god, we're moving too slow. Because in the points where we are moving
too slow
and we don't have vehicles, we're in pretty tight areas where it's like...
So you don't want to be moving fast.
Yeah, where sprinting wouldn't be helpful. And in areas where we are in the open, it's like, oh, there's a vehicle over there. Oh, there's a vehicle over there. Oh, there's a... I don't think there was ever a point in any of the original Halos where I was like, oh, I need a sprint. I need to sprint here.
No.
And when Halo Reach brought in the Sprint Armor Edition, which was literally like a power upgrade for your armor, which allowed you to like go full out for a couple of seconds.
Yeah,
it was great. You couldn't use weapons or anything because you were sprinting.
I mean, there's a problem with sprinting and using weapons. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but like you could. It was like, oh, you've got this armor upgrade that's allowing you to get the full out of the armor by moving quickly for a short period of time, and it was great. It was a bonus you could get. But to just add it in, like, when all of the other ones brought in sprinting, you were kind of like, oh, okay, well, now it just feels like a generic shooter.
Yeah.
It feels like the Spartans are normal soldiers being like, oh, I'm carrying so much stuff and I'm tired and I could give a little bit of a sprint to get myself to safety, but I'm just trudging along for the most part. And it's like, no, we're not. They're not. They're super fucking soldiers. The dudes who are just like, oh yeah, I'm shooting a rocket launcher one fucking handed.
Pretty much, yeah.
And with my other hand, what am I doing? Oh no, I'm fucking holding another gun.
And I'm shooting that guy over there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it kind of like this. I don't know. The sprint just feels like it's taking away from the super of the super soldier, because it's and it's not even because it's like, oh,
well, see, if they do that, I feel like they'd have to take out the vehicles. They want
Halo.
They want. Yeah, I know.
And that's the issue.
thing.
I think
Effectively, the super soldiers are like, if they were to sprint, and as you said earlier in the lore, they were running. They can. Don't get me wrong, it hurts themselves, but they're running at the speed of the vehicles.
Yeah.
If not faster.
Yeah. But my biggest issue is, I'm just kind of like,
So
it's sort of like we were talking about movies, you know.
Yeah.
This feels like, oh, we can't make a Halo. We can't make a good Halo. Like, this is almost like we can't make a good Halo. So let's go back to the old Halos and try and make a new version of them that will make everyone forget the originals existed. That way, they're not comparing us to those originals. Because the originals are a masterpiece. I don't care what you say, they are great. Put all of those 3 games together and you have a masterpiece. By them coming out and being like, oh, we're making all 3 campaigns again, and we're not just upping the graphics, we're actually remaking them and putting stuff that you guys have said you want in them. I don't know anyone who said they wanted sprinting in the Halo campaign.
But let's face it, if they add, the only other thing they could do if they add sprinting is they've got to make the maps bigger.
They've got to do a lot of stuff, and like as I said, the whole thing is that it's like, you know, there is an argument to say like making the Master Chief move more fluid would make him feel more like a super soldier.
Yeah, I can get that.
I think the thing is that in a first-person shooter, there's only so much fluidity that you can get in movement.
Yeah, it is true.
And I think that in terms of some things, it is actually a disadvantage because, as I said, if you add a sprint button, it kind of infers that the Master Chief is just kind of taking his time and dawdling along most of the time.
Because I feel what they're going to do, the other thing they'll do is they'll just make the controls modern as well, which is more helpful to other people who haven't played before. Because I quite often get in there and it's like, I want to zoom. I can't. So.
But again, that was like...
Again, you didn't need to. So
sort of like the point with, like, the thing is, though, that it's like, yeah, this gun doesn't have a zoom on it. It's, you know...
Oh, yeah. Which makes sense, and it's totally fine, and I get that. But the other thing is, like, the ones that can zoom, it's like, what the fuck was the zoom button again? Because it is a totally different button to what we use.
I get that, but, like, yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Updating controls, I can understand in that case. But I do agree with most of it. It's like, we don't need to... and I think it's something we've discussed before. We don't need to make things bigger and more open world. The game, they're a loved game to start with. People still play them. Like, we're playing them now, and we're not going through and being like, oh my god, this is bad. It's like, we're going through this and be like, this is still great.
Yeah.
And so we don't need those updates. We don't need to make the games so much bigger.
Just for the sake of it.
For the sake of making it, we're going to upgrade them. It's like, they don't need that much of an upgrade.
Well, as I said, that's kind of my whole thing, though, because, like, as I said, we've got the relatively new Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, which still looks phenomenal and plays phenomenal. We've got the Anniversary of Combat Evolved, which, as I said, the graphics in it are older, but they're still fine. They're still perfectly serviceable. The only one we don't have is 3 Anniversary, and that's what should be happening. But no, they're remaking all of the campaigns, all 3 of them, and they're all going to be in this new look, in this new style with all of this, and it's almost like, look, play this, and this one's going out to everyone. So it's like, this is Halo now.
Yeah.
This is Halo. Pay no attention to the other ones. No. The ones that were really good and everyone loved and that got this franchise to where it is. Pay no attention to them because this is what we've done. This is now Halo. And it's almost like, if you can't beat them, destroy all evidence that they were ever there and replace it with your own.
Well, there is a big downfall to this as well. Because what's going to happen as it's starting to come out, as it's like, this is coming out soon. Most people who still have the games are going to go through and play the games. Be like, I want to go play this, and I want to see the upgrade,
and have it fresh in mind what the old versus the new was.
Yeah, and then the news there, and if they fuck it up, it's just going to be like, well, you've successfully killed Halo.
That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's wrap it up there, guys. Thank you for joining us. Yep. If you like this, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing.
Yes.
If you want to see more from me and Kris, check out the rest of the channel. We play a whole variety of video games. We also have the podcast every week where we get together and just chat like we did today. But yeah, until next time, guys, I've been Darcy. That's Kris. And we will catch you next time right here on the channel.
Indeed.
See you later, guys.
See ya.